Good afternoon, sovereigns. It is the 20th of May. It's 2:30 UK time. It's 4:30 Kefalinos time. I need to do a video update about various comments that I've seen on the videos that we've got here on Indigo Child channel about some of the recent events that have happened in sovereign paralegals, and about an update from my point of view and some videos that I've been sent, some literature, what I've been sent in the form of 8 or 9 PDF files that have got various wording and tactical deployment of legislation and instrumentation to afford you the luxury of dealing with these people in your private person mode and filing complaints or charges or lawful objections to them, and ways you go around doing that. Those were all for USA, but we can easily convert them to English as well and put down the constitutional articles and rights and things like that instead of what's in America. So I hope you can hear me all right. It's a bit windy, it's very sunny and hot. I'm on holiday now and I've got time to catch up and take stock of what's happening, what progress is being made, what comments are being made, and to answer for any questions that you guys may have. I've put links on all the videos this morning for sovereignparalegals.uk. If you go there, there's radio buttons on the bottom of the website for YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. If you do need an instant response, or you are in a lot of trouble, or you've got a very serious situation that's arisen, I would suggest you visit the website, request to join the open and free public Sovereign Paralegals Facebook platform site. Then from there I will personally approve you, and then we will get your request dealt with. Now that brings me on to the next chapter, requests dealt with. I am not giving out lawful advice. I am not licensed. I am not a member of the Temple BAR, Law Society, legal system, Knights Templar, Masonic organisation, freedom movement, cult. I am David, and I've got information that I found out. I've shared it with people. I've collected people up. We've collected more people. We have then had in-depth, intellectual, respectful discussions and debates over many hundreds of comments, inputs, emails, and several days, weeks. Some issues are left open and are continually being evolved. So I don't see how Tim Garland and certain other people can tell me I'm telling people to use UCC codes. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm bringing to the table the options that are available. I am a man and I have persons. I have a public, all caps, person. I have a private person. I am the body and the flesh. So that's all I need to know. God, in the scriptures, Bibles, whatever religion you want to, claim that your allegiance to, the Creator, in my eyes, gave us all the tools we need to deal with out in the world and all the laws that we need. So I don't see how a man having persons is right in any way. But there is a legal system out there which involves persons and not men. So you cannot deal in a system out there being a man. You can, but that's very hard to get accepted and done. So no matter what you may choose to use, you will never be recognised as a man. So we give you the options of using a UCC, maritime or admiralty laws. We'll give you the option of using human rights, bills of rights, bills of exchange, different, the acts and statutes and bills that we have. And then we'll also give you the option of remaining private. So if I was ever to let the court know that I would be coming, as opposed to representing or appearing, because only ghosts and spirits appear and only things that are previously registered get represented. Yes, we are not representing, we are coming, and we are there in the body of the flesh. Now you would let people know in that courtroom, namely the clerk and the judge, but you deal with the clerk ultimately, that you are there of the body and the flesh, and you are there David. That's it. And you will let the court know, for and on the record, Mr. David Jeremita is present in the court to be dealt with regarding these issues. You are there to clear up controversy surrounding a state-owned name. You will give them first-hand knowledge that from time to time you have been known to go by that name, but you are not that name. Walk over to the clerk, and obviously it's on the record, presenting the commercial body. That's the Crown copyrighted, document and body, commercial all caps body in the court. That's what they don't want to happen. They want you to say you are the Mr. and you step into the dock, whilst we would remain in the gallery, not grant jurisdiction, not claim the name, present the certificate to the clerk. This is one of many options. You could also say things like, I'm an idiot. Look up the definition of the word idiot. In with that definition, it will show you that one of the definitions of an idiot is somebody who does not speak or understand legalese. So get into the court, take the birth certificate with you, and say that you are, you're present as the body in the flesh. You are here to clear up the controversy surrounding the state-owned name. Tell them the name, the Mr. Say he's here with you. Let them know you've got him in the court. So you've clearly cannot get filed for a warrant, cannot be issued for non-attendance. Then you will say you are an idiot. This is who you are, and you have a person. And because you are an idiot in the eyes of the law, you are not authorised, you don't speak legalese, and you don't understand legalese, and you're not licensed, such as me. I am a free-born man. That's it. I man, free-born. I man, free-born. In England, not United Kingdom, the registered for-profit corporation that all the persons and citizens are in. So you can choose. You have the option to choose to be alive and commercial. To be alive, let me think, no, to be dead. To be dead, because you are your person, and persons and citizens and employees, beneficiaries are all dead commercial entities, the misters, the captions. This is the commerce. It allows you to do the commerce and trade. So the Mr. David all caps Jeremeter, I can choose to use that and accept it, and accept that name with the liability. If I'm going to claim that name, that title, much like an actor, yes, I'm going to claim that name of that title, then I might want some kind of payment. A bill might be presented if that's an order for me to, operate under that commercial title, and I might want some, I'm going to accept liability for that. So I'm going to want to be indemnified, aren't I? I'm going to want to set up a fee schedule, things like this, because obviously I'm not a slave and I don't work for free. So you could also say you are the representative, layman, secured party, interested party, and that you have the claim the person via statutory declaration, notice of intent, opportunity to cure, affidavit, statements of truth, things like this, and you've now claimed your person. So you would operate as David Jeremeter, but a different way of putting the name, and you would be using Mr. David Jeremeter, you see, to apportion liability. You would remain private as David Jeremeter. Then you wouldn't say that you are not subject to non-disclosed, to be performed to non-disclosed, and not to be compelled, to contracts which are non-disclosed, and you don't waiver or forfeit any of your rights, certain things like this. So there you would be a private person with a public person. Now there's another option. You can be the body in the flesh, and you can just say that the public person, the birth certificate, all caps name's been presented to the clerk. Bum shanker in the court. No warrant for failure to attend will be issued. The judge obviously gets up and walks out and tries to switch law. You may have to find yourself asking the question when the judge returns, if you don't shut down the case, what jurisdiction the court lies in at the moment. Some part way through your case, but you might not even get up and walk out. They'll stop talking about warrants and enforcement, EX warrants, 96s, 54s, things like 86, and they'll go into the civil area. They start off with criminal, and then they'll go into civil, and they'll flip the law. So ask the question, may I ask, my honour, what jurisdiction does the court lie in at this moment? They may tell you that they are criminal, but they have the capacity to deal with civil, because now they're asking you about certain other things to do with finance, which aren't initially why you were there. So it's often better, if you're not sure, not to do this, and to say you're an idiot, and to say that you don't understand or speak legalese, you do not contract, you do not consent, and you call for common law jurisdiction. There's often police officers don't know what we mean when we say we ask them what authority they are operating under. Are you an officer or are you a constable? An officer is a policy enforcer, and a constable is a man under his oath, working under the oath with it serving us. A policy enforcer, an officer, is serving the CPS and the Crown and the establishment. They are not for us. They only want to impose fines, forfeits and benefits in terms of prison, jail sentences, stuff like that, of which we can then argue consent, and that if there's no victim and crime being committed, then the laws are different. No consent, simple as. So I don't tell anybody what to listen to, what not to listen to, or what to do. I do not give out legal advice, neither do the admins and neither do the members of Sovereign Paralegals. You are free to choose and do what you want, but if you don't have any of the accurate, concise information to hand, the wording, the definitions, the templates, what is contracting, what isn't contracting, things like this, and you don't stand a chance. Even us, at our levels, if we don't check and make things word perfect, then we will fall down and we will end up contracting or negating to put something in, an omission or an error, and it may end up costing us, the actual argument itself, and the claim made upon you will be enforced. Now, if somebody's making a complaint, do you know the difference between a claim and a complaint? When somebody complains, yes, and when somebody puts in a complaint needs, what does it need? He who makes the claim must provide the burden of proof, or proof in some way. So you are understanding this system. Some of you are accelerating and you are comprehending. Some of you are failing to comprehend, and you think we will give you legal advice to get you out of your legal situation, or we may offer you lawful and legal advice, but we don't offer any advice. We are a study and learning group, and I'm giving to the world and humanity and anyone with a birth certificate and an understanding of dogma Latin, glossma text, legalese, non-disclosed contracts, government agendas, the way that jurisdiction works, the Constitution, the Lisbon Treaty, articles, things like this. Not what the everyday Joe talks about, but we want to find people that do, because this country has had treason committed upon it, yes, and with all that I've said, we are also able to try and employ Article 61 and say that if the government cannot irrefutably prove that Article 61 has been lawfully revoked, then we will stop. But they can't. Nobody can prove it's been lawfully revoked. What does that tell you? So your conditional acceptance and your jurisdiction and your understanding and your not contracting and your lawful objections, these will help you in good stead. We will be here as a sounding board, somebody impartial, honourable, that will tell you what we believe will be happening or is likely to happen. We haven't got the magic answers, no, and we haven't got the right to tell anybody what to do, and we make this disclosure known to everybody. It's in the pinned post. It's up to you. You use your due diligence, Tim Garland, and you use whatever law, code, statute, regulation that you want. I will not tell you what to do, where to go, how to do it. I will tell you what I've done, what my friends are doing, and what is the likely outcome of your intended course of action. If you want to get remedy or recourse without contracting, this is possible. If you want to sign something and claim a benefit from the establishment and government, then you will claim your entitlement, which is a benefit, and it is subject to approval. It is not a God-given, your claim of right, yes, your birth right. It is something you beg. When you fill out a form and you sign something like a job seeker's form online, then you go to the appointment and they sit there with the assessor and he reads it out and asks you to sign it. You are making a contract and you have used a date of birth and a surname. So therefore you, the man, the body and the flesh, the womb man, the man of the waters of his mum, is given his signature to authorise that legal instrument to be used by the government to access your CQV trust and then draw upon it and take credits and move money about under trust law and as mercantile and such other agents. Like I said in the previous video about utility companies, your gas and electric provider, you are not their customer, they are your agent. It's all flipping upside down, people. So I understand it takes a lot to get your head round. I understand there is no right and wrong way to proceed because it's how you see fit and what you believe, and that is what I will reinforce again for Mr. Tim Garland. I don't know what your angle is, but you can see that we do no harm. We encourage everybody to correct their status, to question and look about Article 61, when it was invoked, which version of the Magna Carta. Now people are saying it's 1217, not the 1216 one, and it's all about different versions. So if you're not sure and you don't know about the Magna Carta, then you will go with conditional acceptance offers and you will manage yourself and your status and your persons, as I said at the beginning of this video, which will include taking your birth certificate, separating you, the man, from your persons, pointing out to the alleged authority that this is fraud, misrepresentation. You know who you are. You are there in a certain status. You may be there in Surrey juris persona, you might not. You may be there and claim the name and step into the dock. You may have committed common law harm and you may still remain the man and not contract and present your birth certificate, yes, or you may go into the dock as the man and call common law, say you're an idiot. So it's up to you, but we will tell you the foolish way in our eyes that looks like, not to proceed, because you will contradict yourself or you will contract and give them jurisdiction and authority, in which case then if you take a legal person in with you like a solicitor, you're viewed as a child in the eyes of the law, and as a child therefore they will try and salvage you. And you have heard in America when they do the plea bargain, well, why would they do a plea bargain? Because they're bargaining for something. Yes, the prosecutor, defendant, attorneys, they're doing plea bargains. And this is for a piece of the financial cake of which you know nothing about. The same as if you have a representative and you get a custodial sentence, before you go down, the court paperwork must be signed to say that you agree to that contract and will be imprisoned. I can't see many of us doing that ourselves. So yeah, idiot, that was a new one I found out about. You've got your own free choice. Yes, these people, they are onto it. And if you wake up, and you wake up just now, you've got a lot to learn. If you've been awake a few years, you will know that what we're saying, and the Consumer Credit Act, Section 123, Paragraph 5, non-commercial agreements, is a very useful section of the Consumer Credit Act to be looking at for indemnification and remedy regarding non-disclosed and non-commercial contracts. The bills of exchange will help you immensely with regards to payment, transfers, drawee, yes, executor, beneficiary, trustee. The judge in a court, you would say to him to this, I believe you are the trustee, my honour, and I am the beneficiary and the executor. We all know that all three positions cannot be held by the judge or the clerk or by us. So you go into court, here's another way, and you say, under this trust law, CQV Act, you would say, I am David of the family Jeremita. I am the interested party to my person, Mr. David Jeremita. I am the executor and the beneficiary. You are the trustee, my honour. Is that the case? Because as he's a trustee, what does that mean? He's got to do what he's told. Yes. So again, Mr. Tim Garland, UCC is not needed, brother. I'm telling you, I have learnt all of their codes. Not all of them, no, that's a lie. I've looked into a hell of a lot of UCC codes. I've looked into maritime and admiralty, and I've looked at international, all this. Then we've looked at constitutional. Then we've looked at inherent birthrights. We already know what natural laws are. I knew them at the age of 5 at school. That's the law that you follow, that you're instilled with. That's natural law. Don't take other kids' stuff. Don't be a bully. Don't steal. Don't beat people up. Don't swear. Don't be nasty. Just be decent. Simple. No one needs telling that. That's the unwritten natural laws, the biblical laws, the laws from the gospel, from the Buddha, from the Quran, from anywhere that's wholesome, natural. Yes, these are the natural laws. Look at anything you want and make your own decision. Use your own due diligence. But what we will do is tell you definitively what that legal system is and will do. No ifs, no buts, no quibbles. It is a science. It is a game. And what they're doing now is amending the constitutions and all that, and they're expanding it at a rapid rate. And if we don't keep our eye on the ball, and these acts of treason, as the Lawful Rebellion group are quite accurately pointing out, shoehorned into the UK, EU, the UK was, by Ted Edward Heath in 1974. Tony Blair signing the Nice Treaty. What did the Queen say on her coronation when she put a hand on that Bible? She said something in a nutshell, paraphrased as, I will not hand over control of this country to a foreign force. And what's happened when you sign a treaty with the European Union? Hands over certain powers, policing powers, legislative powers. You're handing over power of the country to a foreign force. It's not us then, is it? That's what you said on your coronation. Boom, shanker. Not just Article 61. We've got lots and lots. We are not free men that are just not wanting to pay bills. We are sovereign, free, born, now captured as slaves that are breaking out the matrix. You've all seen the Hollywood films. They told us what to do years ago. In The Wizard of Oz, they told us what they'd done with the gold and the yellow brick road and the straw man and the tax identification number, tin man, yes, the yellow brick road. How do you weigh gold? OZ in ounces? Yes, you do. What happened in that year? Gold Insolvency Act, where the bullion was removed from the banks, fiat monetary system introduced, central banks, yes, no more value, promises to pay. Who are now the debtors and the creditors to our country? Us. We are the debtors and the creditors after the bankruptcy. Again, look into it all. What happened in 1911? Again, I'm not going to tell you everything. You can have a look, research it and find out. This is what this game is. We are not proposing to solve your problems and to give you the answers and to give you magic fixes. You can do that yourself, like we all have done, because that's the only way you learn. What we will do is give you tips and tricks and hints, and we will provide you with the legislation and the statutory law and the statutory regulation, or the Unified Commercial Code, or the Maritime and Admiralty Clause, what jurisdiction, what denotes jurisdiction, when it is a contract, how to sign without liability. That's just a start. That is just a start. So do not come to my videos or my group, our group, and say, David, I'm telling you. We had a woman rung up, I won't mention her name, recently, and she come in the group and she says, help, I had a post, put in sovereign paralegals, this is what we do. And we were 40 minutes late, the members had picked it up straight away. 40 minutes later, I read a status, help, the bailiff's in my house, what do I do? So I offered the web portal phone number, and she rang me, and I found out the bailiff had gone. But the bailiff was there trying to take a car that was on finance. Now, why was he trying to do that? It's not her property. We knew straight away he couldn't take that. He was there trying to take goods to the value of X amount when the debt was a lot less lower. This is disproportionate. We know lots of things, and we can get these people help. We can, even if we can't get there, we will get them to ring the police and get the police to come down, because as a constable, they will come down and prevent a breach of the peace. As a policy enforcer officer, they will come down and aid and assist the bailiff. These are the treasonous acts being done by the G4S officers in our country, which is 80-90% now, yeah? Not, and 10-20% are constables. Hello. England is a slave camp for statutory, mandatory control under non-disclosed contracts. We are breaking them, we are waking up, we are asserting ourselves in any and each way. And as for regards to the way you want to do it, you choose your own path. You make your own decision. We accept no liability. We are not going to stop what we are doing. I will not stop making videos, and the haters, it will become adamantly clear what your ultimate agenda is and who you work for, who you have worked for, or what your ideal goal is. And speaking of agendas and goal, 2 days ago when I flew out here, Jack Fresco passed away. This is the first I've heard about it, the 20th of May. My heart is sad. I'm having a day of mourning today. Hence this video and the way that I feel, the social structure that we're in, the way that nobody will speak out and put themselves out there because the fear of how they are perceived, and if they might make a mistake, and if anybody doesn't like what they say. Well, the time for that's finished. We're getting to the end of the road, guys. This clock is ticking. The time is running out. We need to recognise the great people that are in our time. Jack Fresco, Nikola Tesla, but Jack Fresco's taking it now. Look at the Venus Project. Look at resource-based economy. 1974, 1976, Larry King show, he brought this stuff out. He invented a cloud in the 70s. Before Betamax, VHS, tape, record, CD, all this plastic and manufacturing business and import and export was created, and now it's all in a landfill somewhere because we're all on digital wireless MP3 streaming. So all that was a waste. And in the 70s, Jack said, I'll have the cloud, big computer, kind of like what we could do with the voting system and get rid of politics. He's sorted the whole world's issues, but the top ones that got my ear, and the first time I heard him, no war, no starving children, no monetary system with enslavement of debt. Boom, ears up. What? Say that again. No war, no starving children, no monetary system, and no enslaving of debt. Exactly why the government haven't told you about him since 1970 something, because this is the one system that would take us into some kind of harmonious, natural, vibrational frequency of peace, love and enlightenment. We don't even need to burn the oil of the earth, the blood of the earth, the petrol, the oil polluting. We've got free zero energy now. We've got everything we could use for. So Jack Fresco, one of the heroes of Indigo Child, my researcher, the silent partner that I've got, Matthew that works on here, me and everyone that we meet, we always tell about this important man and the project what he had, and the reason why the government suppress it, along with other things of which they suppress through satanic demonic cults and worship and rituals and stones of scones, and it's just disgusting. So the ball is in your hand. The research is all there for you to do. The sources are there in the public domain. We don't instruct or tell anybody. I've often come in the group and said, this is not legal advice. We are not licensed. We are not authorised. What we are freeborn, sovereign, contract-free souls. Yes, that inhabit this spirit inhabits this vessel, yeah, and it has a consciousness. So I am a 3, and I can prove that. God gave me all of that. I don't need the registration and the license and everything else to be me and to go out there and do what I need to do. Now, if their licenses and codes infract upon my freedom as a man, what I will do is not license, register, submit and complain and appeal. I will say, here's my lawful objection as my entitled state. I don't need to be on the electoral roll to register, to consent to vote, to register, because I have a voice already as an official inhabitant of the landmass England. I am not in the United Kingdom, and I am not a 2D fictional piece of paper. So I don't need to register to get my voice heard. And a poll is, what did someone say in the group the other day? It is meaning of your opinion, a poll. I don't want to give my opinion. I want my voice to be heard lawfully, not go through some legal construct of hula hoop gymnastics, contortionist movement to give away all my inherent constitutional God-given birthrights to some strange company under a license that's going to contemplate and maybe restrict and sanction me and not give me my entitlements. And what? Say who? Who are you? Wake up, people. Find us. Join us. And we're going to sort something out this summer. We all need to get together, individuals, under one united cause. No cults. This isn't a cult. Freedom and love, justice isn't a cult. You know what I mean? It's, if you want to call me a cult because we don't want to contract to scoundrels and tyrants that are giving us no disclosure, and this is when we're babies as well to our parents, and are creating rules and writing it in Latin and dogma texts and speaking in a secret language, and I'm the one with a cult. We live in a cult and we don't know we're in a cult, and we're breaking it out to you. How's about that? We'll flip it round, because nobody told me there was a choice. Apparently we had a Second World War for freedom, and we apparently won it. Yeah, and after we won this Second World War, what happened? License and registration, please. Kind of like what happened in Germany. And look at the history after that. Yes? And I'm the one with the cult. Why didn't Buckingham Palace get bombed in the wars? Why didn't any weapons manufacturing, munitions plants get bombed in the Second World War? Don't come to me telling me I'm anything, even a domestic terrorist. I'll have you know that this is my right. I have a freedom of speech, and I am a spirit in this vessel, and I have a consciousness, and I am on a spiritual mission. Simple as. I don't answer to anybody but myself, and I don't tell any other man what to do, and neither should you. That's where we're at. So, I'm an idiot. Peace, love and light, sovereigns. Ciao for now.